Hello. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the all-new translucent material which will be available in the upcoming KeyShot 2.1 release. To this date, it is the fastest and easiest way to render a translucent material. I'll be demonstrating this on an 8.9 million poly 3D scan of a human head. So this is a very dense model with high detail, and you'll be able to see the amazing performance you'll be able to get with the new technology. You can see that some areas become brighter, and the light seems to sort of bounce around the model and illuminate different sections as the software sits. And what it's doing there is it's actually calculating the scattering of light beneath the surface. Now what I did, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the ear here, because the ear will allow light to pass through, and we'll be actually be able to see what appears to be blood beneath the surface of the skin. Now this all works off of scale, so since the surfaces for the front of the ear, which we can see, and the back side of the ear, which we can't see, are really close together, that's how KeyShot knows to actually scatter light beneath this surface in such a way that we see it. That way the whole head itself doesn't look completely translucent. And as you can see, we have very realistic simulation of light actually scattering beneath the surface. The software is always calculating, it's always refining the image, so as it sits it will constantly get better and better. The machine I'm working on here is in i7, so it's a very common machine. This is not GPU rendering at all. It's all entirely CPU based. And if we take a look at the translucent material, you can see that there are very few properties that it takes to actually produce a realistic translucent material. We have a diffuse color, we have a transmission color, there's a translucency slider, index of refraction, roughness, specularity, and samples, which is the accuracy of the final render. Now if I increase the translucency, you can see that more light is actually allowed to scatter beneath the surface of the skin. Now this is a bit much for realistic skin, so I'll go ahead and drop this back. Now as I mentioned before, there is a diffuse color and a transmission color. The diffuse color is the color that's actually reflected, and the transmission color is the color of light that is scattered beneath the surface of the skin. So if we do something like a Hulk skin, we can set the diffuse color to green, but since our transmission color is still set to this reddish brown hue, that still gives the impression of blood beneath the surface of the skin. So even though our skin is green, it still has this alive sort of feel to it because of that transmission color. And it's very interactive. I can select the diffuse color and move over to like a bluish hue, and this will create something more along the lines of the avatar skin. And as this reses up, you'll see the light start to fill in beneath the surface. And for those of you familiar with rendering, you can see that subsurface scattering in the past has always taken a couple of things. One, a lot of technical know-how, and two, a lot of time. But with KeyShot 2, we've solved both of those issues. I'll go back to something that's more of a realistic skin tone here. And let's zoom out on the model. And what I'd like to show you here is this roughness property. Now maybe I want to make the surface of his skin feel wet. I can do that by dropping the roughness value here. And if if we let that res up, once I settle on a low value, you can see that now it looks like this human head is actually sweating. And again, we're doing full ray tracing, full subsurface scattering on 8.9 million polys on a single i7 chip. And you can see we're getting some really incredible results here. As I said, the image is constantly refining, it's constantly calculating. Eventually you will get to a point where you may not notice an improvement on the image, but it will always calculate until you choose to either pause the interface or close the window. And that is a look at the KeyShot 2.1 translucent material. We're very excited to release this, and we can't wait to see what our users are able to do with it. Thanks for watching.